Welcome to another video of Performance Testing Basic Series. Hello everyone, this is YourPerfBuddy and I'm Mangesh Kumar, your host and guide on this journey. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is performance testing and if performance testing can be done by real users. So without any delay, let's get started. What is performance testing? Okay, so let's take an example to understand what is performance testing. Imagine Facebook.com is your application under test. AUT is nothing but application under test. A short form or abbreviation for AUT is application under test is AUT. Okay, so these are the users. There are a lot of users, multiple users. These are the users using this application at the same point of time. What they are trying to do, they are trying to access facebook.com at same point of time. When multiple users accesses any application at same point of time, we call them as concurrent users. Okay, this term concurrent is really important because this we are going to use in our performance testing series. Or also whenever you're doing performance testing, when you're collecting the requirements from client, so they will keep mentioning that we wanted to run the test with X concurrent users. Is it possible to do or not? How we can achieve that concurrency? So this term concurrent is really important here. So you have to understand this. What is concurrent users? What is concurrent users? Concurrent user is nothing but when multiple users are trying to access the application at the same point of time, we call them as concurrent users. Okay, and what these users are doing when they are accessing application at some point of time, let's go back to our previous example and try to understand. In previous example, when multiple car, we took example of car, that car was going from home to airport, right? So there were multiple cars on the road, and what they were creating on the road, they were creating traffic jam on the road, right? In same way, multiple users, when they are accessing the application, they will be creating some load on the system. Okay, they'll be creating some load on the system. So when there is some load being created on the application, what we have to do, we have to check the behavior of this facebook.com, how this application is performing when there is load. When multiple users are accessing this application, how this application is performing, right? This is what we call performance testing. When the load is being created, we need to check the behavior of the system. Right, when the load is being created, what we have to do, we have to check the behavior of the system, performance of the system, if there is any degradation, if there is any slowness or not. Right, this is what we call performance testing. Okay, so as per the definition, what is performance testing? When the load is being created, we have to check the performance or behavior of the system. Okay, so that's what we call performance testing. Sometimes we get requirement like, we have to do performance testing with single user. So is it possible? Because as per the definition, what we are saying, if there is load on the system, we have to check the behavior, right? But if we are doing with one user, can we create load? Can we create load on the system? No, right? So there are different, conditions where with one user we can create load. We have to go in different type of performance testing. There are different type of performance testing that we'll be discussing later. But whenever any client comes to you and says that, hey, we wanted to do performance testing with single user, then you have to check with this, that those conditions, those criteria, you know, that if it is possible or not. Otherwise, we directly say no to the client. We cannot do performance testing with single user because it will not make sense. If you go back to the previous example again, where you were going from home to the airport, you were driving car, the road was empty, you will go smoothly, right? There won't be any problem. But we got the problem when there was traffic on the road. At that time, we got the problem. Correct. So that's why we have to check the performance when there are few people accessing application at same point of time. We have to see how our application will perform. That's what we do in performance testing. Okay, in this example you can see that we are using just 4 5 or 6 or 7 users here, but in real world there will be like, thousands or hundreds or thousands of users accessing this application. Let's try to understand what is real user and if it is possible to do performance testing with real users or not. Okay, so these users, the users that we use just now, they are real users. What is real user? But what is real user? Users who are physically available anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. If the user is physically available, that means we call them as real users. They know what they are doing. They are accessing application. You told them, hey, we wanted to access facebook.com, and they know that they have to type the URL, they have to press an enter button. They are physically available in the world. Doesn't matter where they are available, but they are physically available. We call them as real users. Okay. Now imagine we need to run a test with 1,000 users. We need to run test with 1,000 users. Can we have 1,000 real users? Can we have 1,000 real users? Yes, yes, it is possible to have 1,000 real users. We can have 1,000 real users. We can have 1,000 real. For example, we have a lot of companies in the world. They have like a lot of MNCs. They will have like more than 1,000 users. They will have like more than 1,000 employees. They will have 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 employees as well, right? So for them, it's possible to ask 1,000 users to sit together and start working on this Facebook.com. But is it possible to ask all 1,000 users to click button all at the same time? All at the same time? Can we ask them to click Facebook.com at the same time? That's difficult, right? And if we define some time interval, if we define some time interval, for example, we are defining like 30 minutes of duration that we wanted to click this facebook.com with 1,000 users for 30 minutes. Is it possible for them to do? We are not sure still they can do or not. Or imagine if we have different requirement, if we have requirement like we wanted to do with 10,000 users. Now few companies, they will not have 10,000 employees in their company organization, right? So in that case, they won't be able to achieve this. Then how we can do this? What is the process that we can do and we can achieve this 10,000 performance testing with 10,000 users? In that case, what we do, we use something we call virtual user, okay, or a short form of virtual user we call v users as well. Okay, so we use virtual users to do performance testing. We never do performance testing with the real users. What we do performance testing with virtual user. Okay, in next video we are going to see what is the virtual user and the difference between real user and virtual user. Okay, thank you.